Dr. Ezekwesili is extremely passionate about education, and it resonates with every time she speaks about it. So she's definitely somebody that is an asset to Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please give her another round of applause for that brilliant performance. And we're going to go straight into the panel now, and I'm going to crave your indulgence of the members of the panel to start with Her Excellency. Madam, you are a deputy governor. You are also the Commissioner of Education. I have never heard of a deputy governor being the Commissioner of Education, so it speaks a lot. It speaks a lot about your commitment and your drive and your passion for education. Are there certain reasons why you chose to take the education portfolio? And are there anything that you're doing that we can learn from your experience? You know, from your experience as the Commissioner of Education and being an executive governor at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The audience made that noise because I'm actually not the first deputy governor that will be commissioner for education.
Sarah,
we have had several before me. To go straight to your question, you want to know why my government decided to make a deputy governor commissioner for education. For us in the state of Osun, we are very passionate about education. A lot was said yesterday about the rot and decadence in education in Nigeria today. So I will not go through that route. Rather, I would like to discuss some of the solutions that we have profiled in the state of Osun. The state of Osun realizes that education is the pivot of social and economic development. Without a sound education, we cannot get anywhere. So when we met the rot and the decadence in education in the state of Osun, the first thing we did, which is like what we're doing now, is to call for an education summit. We came in November 2010. By February 2011, that is on the 100 days, we had called for an education summit. And through the education summit, we made a clarion call for stakeholders in education to come to the state of Osun and help us to brainstorm on how we can reposition education. The communique that came out from that summit was adopted by the state as a roadmap. And in fact, most of the policies that we enacted after the communique, after the summit, came from the policy. First, to address the issue of the dilapidation in the structure, we quickly set up a committee which we called OSCO. The OSCO, when you hear O in Osun, it means Osun. So when you hear O school, it means Osun schools. So we had a school, we had this committee which we called O schools that went around the various schools in the state to assess the level of dilapidation and also advise on what to do quickly. They came up with suggestions that we need to build 170 schools ab initio. And we took up the challenge. We took up the challenge to build 100 elementary schools, 50 middle schools, and 20 high schools. As I'm speaking to you now, we have completed 39 of such schools. And these are state-of-the-art schools.
Your Excellency, just to cut you short, we discussed a lot about the investment in schools yesterday.
Yes.
And one of the issues that some of the panelists spoke about and members of the audience said is that Sometimes the investment in buildings might not be the solution. What about the investment in teachers? Can we hear more about that from Washington State?
We did a lot. I want you to know that investment in building is very important. You cannot keep children in an environment that is not conducive to learning. They will not be attracted to school. So the schools that we have put in place will last for several years. It will last for the next 50, 60 years, because these are schools that are comparable to anyone, any of its sort in any of the developed countries. For the teachers, we have had programs. In fact, we have an arrangement with University of Osun, whereby we run the teachers on in-service training during the long vacation. And apart from that, we have also partnered with some organizations that come in to give our teachers training. In fact, some committed Osun citizens, and in places as far as United States of America, they form themselves into groups. Some come in to teach our teachers in mathematics, some come in to take them in English, but the state itself is committed to training teachers during the long vacation. And apart from this, we also send teachers out on training in some other countries. We have invested a lot in training our teachers. To date, we have trained over 8,000 of them. And recruitment of teachers is very important. Since we came into governance, we've recruited over 10,000 teachers within 2.5 years of our ascendance into governance in the state of Osun. We did not stop there. Just to let you know what we've done for teachers, because you need to motivate teachers. If you have an motivated workforce, they will not be able to bring out their best. They will not be able to impact any knowledge, because if they are not happy themselves, you can't get the best out of them. So you need to work on promotion of teachers. You need to treat teachers. We have moved teachers from grade level 14 in elementary schools to grade level 16. And this has motivated them.
Thank you very much.
Also, we've pushed them to grade level 17 in the secondary schools. And this, if we do this all over Nigeria, it will augur well for the teachers and invariably for our students.
Thank you very much.